It's 7 in the morning here in Singapore and 7 in the evening on the U.S. East Coast, where Joe Biden used a visit to Massachusetts to issue the latest stark warning on the threat posed by climate change. The U.S. president is using executive powers to usher in measures including offshore wind farms and expanded flood control. With a heat dome now affecting 28 states, the U.S. is the latest country to swelter with high temperatures. Wildfires, you'll remember, are still raging in Europe in countries like Spain, Italy and Greece. In France's southwest, President Macron has been to see the devastation caused by a wildfire that forced almost 40,000 people from their homes. Our correspondent Lucy Williamson was there, and we start our coverage with her report.
Fire chiefs are too cautious to talk about a turning point, but the fire here has stabilised enough for President Macron to visit Teste-de-Bouche today to congratulate the crews.
We know the weaknesses in the management of this forest. We have to make it grow again, but with different rules and precautions.
You can see how unstable the situation is, even from the forest road. The soil still smouldering, the clearance crews still at work. This is what it takes to stop the fires. A corridor 300 metres wide, cleared of all trees, all fuel for the flames. But firefighters say the fires could still leap across this corridor if the wind's in the wrong direction. And for those now waiting out the fire in shelters, fears will linger long after the flames are out.
I think it's a global problem for everybody. And in the future years, it could be the case for other regions or other countries, like in the UK. What we are living now, they can live it tomorrow or in the future years.
What fires like this can do is becoming hard to ignore. In Greece last night, firefighters watched as gale-force winds swept flames through districts around Athens. Residents said the fire was moving faster than a car. Is this, many ask, the future of summer in Europe, when pressure on firefighters has eased again? Will the pressure on politicians keep growing? Lucy Williamson, BBC News, Teste-de-Bouche.
Well, to the UK now, where London's fire service says that Tuesday was its busiest day since World War II, dealing with multiple blazes and record-breaking temperatures. The city was one of 15 areas around the UK to declare a major incident. One of the most serious fires was in Wellington, in East London, where houses were destroyed. It came as temperatures hit a record 40.3 degrees Celsius. Let's take a look at elsewhere in the world, where heavy rain has caused severe flooding in Senegal's capital, Dakar. The main roads through the city were inundated, forcing people to wade through knee-deep waters. Residents say rainy season downpours cause problems every year and that the government needs to install adequate drainage systems. Well, as we've been reporting, President Joe Biden has unveiled those new executive steps that he will make to address climate change, which he's described as an existential threat to the United States and the world. So let's go through them, shall we? $2.3 billion will be spent on a range of new measures. Amongst them, expanding flood control, shoring up utilities, and helping low-income families pay for heating and cooling costs. There's also support for the domestic offshore wind industry. 700,000 acres have been identified in the Gulf of Mexico for that purpose. Now, President Biden has been under pressure to declare a climate emergency, which would release funds to ramp up production of a wide range of renewable energy products and systems.
As president, I have a responsibility to act with urgency and resolve when our nation faces clear and present dangers. And that's what climate change is about. It is literally, not figuratively, a clear and present danger. The health of our citizens and our communities is literally at stake. The UN's leading international climate scientists call the latest climate report nothing less than, quote, code red for humanity. That's why today I'm making the largest investment ever, $2.3 billion, to help communities across the country build infrastructure that's designed to withstand the full range of disasters we've been seeing up to today. Extreme heat, drought, flooding, hurricanes, tornadoes. Right now, there are millions of people suffering from extreme heat at home.
That was Joe Biden speaking a little earlier. Well, we can speak now to our North America correspondent, I should say, Peter Bowes, who can help us make sense of all of these latest announcements. Great to get you on the program again, Peter. So tell us, how significant is what Joe Biden said this evening?
Well, $2.3 billion is significant, and as the president, we've just heard him outline what that is being spent on. You could broadly, I think, categorise it as help for Americans that are being affected by climate change, flood control, federal money that the states can spend on air conditioning units for people's homes, places for people to go, public places to help them cool down in these searing temperatures. There are more than 100 million Americans right now living in conditions of extreme heat, from New York to Las Vegas, Texas, Oklahoma, temperatures even hotter than the UK, more than 46 degrees Celsius. So people are suffering right now. This money will go towards easing that suffering. The criticism of what's happening now, and perhaps of this announcement, that perhaps in terms of tackling long-term climate change and the root causes of climate change, that maybe it won't do much.